Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of the pack showdown between me and Trout. And as you guys can see, I actually decided just to kind of pick out the packs that I got the highlights out of them, because the last time, we spent so much time just going fast forwarding through all the packs, and I didn't feel as though it was quite necessary. So I just picked out a few of the ones where I got some good players, and as you can see, I managed to pick up Sergio Busquets. And there was a bit of confusion last time. A lot of people said this was very much like AA9 Skills and Nepentez's pack persistence, and in fact it's not like that at all, really. I don't understand where that sort of came from. I mean, yes, we are opening packs, but we're making teams with these packs and then we're playing against each other. We're not selling the players or anything like that. We're simply playing each other in a best of 3 to see who can create the best team and who obviously is, I don't want to say the better player, but who can, and then just playing against each other in a best of 3 just for a bit of fun and to see what we can do with the team. So I hope I have kind of cleared that up for you guys. I know a lot of people were kind of confused by that, so I hope that was fixed, and I thank you guys very much to those of you guys who watched the entire of the last video before jumping to conclusion. So as you can see, at the moment we picked up Sergio Busquets and also Darren Bent. Now, when I got Darren Bent, I just knew it was going to be a good laugh, because instantly I was like, this could be really, really funny, especially now that I have Hernandez and Darren Bent and Ireland. So I knew that I could play that 3-5-2 and put Ireland as attacking mid, and then have Darren Bent and Hernandez up front, because it would actually work out well, because of the fact that Ireland would get that 9 chemistry with his connection to Darren Bent, because they both play for Aston Villa. Another player I got was Blaszczykowski, and that was just really crazy. I know that Trout already has Blaszczykowski, so when I picked him up, I knew that was going to be really cool. But unfortunately, with the way my team's set up at the moment, I don't feel as though there's actually any space for Blaszczykowski, and especially with my right mid that I have right now, he scored some amazing goals last time. I mean, he scored some absolute screamers. So I decided he deserved a spot in there, and as you can see, you guys can take a look at my team now. I also got a center back who plays in the BBVA, so for that reason I decided to keep him in there. But as you can see, he got Santi Cazorla. I was absolutely devastated with that. He also fixed up his chemistry issue with Weiss, and he is now on 9 chemistry, so I was really worried with this sort of team. As you can see, he had a strong side, and he actually takes the lead really closely there. He does go ahead, and he completely failed that Trout, though. That was just epic. If you guys want to go and hear the sort of live reactions and things like that, go and check out Trout's video. That will be in the description, hopefully. And as you can see, he goes 2-0 up, and I was just caught napping. It was not good at all. Santi Cazorla there takes the lead, and again, just how unlucky do I have to get? Things were just not going my way at all. 3-0 down in the 30th minute, and it was just, the momentum was not going my way. Oxlade-Chamberlain does a little sidestep. His first touch was dreadful as well, but just poor defending from me. He goes 4-0 up before halftime. I mean, the sausage was most definitely being served, so some changes had to be made, guys. And one thing I'd like to say, the reason why we're actually doing this series is because of a thing called Dream Draw. If you guys aren't aware of that, it's a thing Xbox are actually holding where for every 100 FIFA points you get entered into this Dream Draw. And that means, you can win tickets to some of the most insane games ever. I'm not entirely sure what the fixture is. I believe they're always really good. It'll be Chelsea. I think it's Chelsea versus someone. Anyways, it is really cool. And I went on one, this Dream Draw package that I won for my 18th birthday, and I know Tobias Gaming actually made a video on it. I went to the Arsenal Spurs game, and they put me up in an executive box on my 18th birthday, and it was just the most insane thing ever. It really was. I managed to pull back a consolation goal there from Kaká, and I was a little bit happy with that, but at the same time I was like, I'm 4-0 down. The sausage is being served, and then he brings on Kone, Wagner Love, and Richardson, and I was like, does it get any worse than this? As you can see, at the end of the game, the stats were very much in my favor. 14 shots, 10 on target, and I only got 1 goal, and that was a penalty. So a little bit disappointed, I have to admit, but that's just the way FIFA is sometimes. And as always, guys, it's a best of 3. So I had to play the second game, and I had to go ahead, and I had to beat him if I wanted to take him to that third game. To anyone who watched the last episode, I actually did play Trout, and I beat him pretty convincingly both games in a row, so there were no worries when that came around. And I had to make some changes to the team. There were most certainly something wrong with the team. The team was not playing well, and as you can see, I swapped out the keeper. You know, Brad just wasn't cutting it for me. You know, he wasn't on the chemistry I was hoping he'd be on, and I was just really searching for some good chemistry, trying to figure out how I could incorporate the team. And I decided, you know, I brought Kaka on that last game, and he made the difference. He brought back a goal, and unfortunately, it was enough. He did come back and make some really important things happen. So for that reason, I decided I'd bring Kaka back in, and I decided I'd play him at a center defensive midfield role. And I know he's an attacking mid, but he is just too good to not have on the pitch. So I decided to make him a center defensive mid. As you can see, put on that defensive mid card onto him, and I went into the game. He didn't make any changes to his team. I changed my goalkeeper. I changed around my center backs as well. I needed to bring back Sacco. His attack was just incredible. I needed the pace from Sacco. Sacco is such a bully. He's such an animal in this game that there was no way in the world that I could not have him in this team. So I managed to swap that out. A really nice ball through to Kaka, and the defender just runs straight past him, and Kaka punishes him for that. And just, I was so happy with that goal after getting battered senseless in that last game 4-1. The same trio comes on. Kone, Wagnerlove, and Richardson comes on, and that, like, when I see that substitution, that is just disgusting. You know, I did not feel comfortable with that at all. It was 1-0. Hernandez was complete crap for me the entire time. He really was just a huge letdown, and that was his first real you know, that's the first time he'd actually done something this entire time. So it was a bit of a relief to see, but nothing was really happening again. Ireland plays a ball through to Griezmann. If you guys remember correctly, Griezmann was playing amazingly last time. This time round, he just wasn't getting the service that like last time. Fortunately, though, a really nice finesse shot. Unfortunately, saved by Weiss, but the follow-up from Bent there means he picks up the goal, and that's some good poaching skills right there, meaning we go 2-0 up. Things were looking pretty good, but a very poor clearance there from the goalkeeper, and he takes an effort. He shoots, which, you know, respect to him for trying that out with Cazorla, but it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, Duches there manages to clear it back out, but unfortunately, again, it gets headered back, and just a poor tackle from Busquets. Busquets is, in fact, making a really big difference in that defensive midfield role, though. Don't get me wrong, you know, he is doing a good job. Admittedly, though, that was a slightly poor tackle from him, but that makes it 2-1, and I thought, you know, Trout is going to come back here, and this could be, you know, this could be it. It could be over for me, but unfortunately for him, he does give a slightly poor free kick, and that lands straight into the feet of my player. Some good passing play means Hernandez is on the ball, and he manages to use a bit of that left trigger, right trigger, get himself some space, a nice pass, and Kaká there. You God, I mean, I'm so glad I put him in that defensive midfield role, just to have him on the pitch more than anything, and to give, the reason why I've kept Ireland on is mainly just to keep the two strikers on 9 chemistry, and it is proving very important as Darren Bent and Hernandez both pick up you know, good awards for the game. You know, they did play well, but it was time, ladies and gents. This last game would separate the men from boys. And, you know, he won the first one 4-1. I won the second one 3-1. And it was time for this one to settle it. Admittedly, you know, I was a little bit nervous. I'm already 1-0 up in the series. I won last week. So I was definitely feeling confident. But at the same time, he battered me in that first game. And if the same thing were to happen to me this time around, I would be absolutely gutted. So as you guys can see, me rolling in with my 89 chemistry, 82 attack, 80 midfield, and 81 defense, and that midfield has recently received a bump because I do have Kaka as a defensive mid. But it was time, gents. It was time for the boys to show why they are the gods, why the troops are who they are. So, you know, we went in. It took a little while, all the way into the 20th minute. When I play Trout, usually there's someone who scores early on, but Busquets there running the show just had so much space. Trout gave me way too much space there, and that was a really poor effort, but his counter-attack is just obnoxious. It really is. Look at the pace of Oxlade-Chamberlain, and that is a beautiful finish. So fair play to Trout there. A really nice goal, and his attacking 3 is just... it's just not fair, guys. It really is. He's got Welbeck, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Blaskowski. Like, how am I supposed to compete with that? That is just incredible. But, you know, I wasn't going to let that end me there. You know, 1-0 down just before halftime. Again, he gets open with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain is the reason why he is getting all this space, all these opportunities. And unfortunately for him, his player tries to stop Hernandez. He tried to foul him from making that run. But, oh baby, the sweaty goal. the sweaty goal. I could feel the sweat dripping off of me in that moment in time as Bent there grabs the equalizer, and my God. From then on, me and Trout were pretty much silent throughout the rest of the time, you know. It was all a matter 1-1. Who was going to win it? You know, this was a best of 3. You know, if I win this, I go 2-0 up in the series. If he wins this, it's tied 1-1. Hernandez there cuts back, takes a beautiful effort there. And I mean, I just did that to see what would happen. He crosses this bad boy in. Hernandez in front of the defender. And that is it. In the 79th minute, Hernandez, who in honesty really hadn't been that great for me throughout the entire series, just does the business, and we win 2-1 in the best of 3. So that means we go 2-0 up in this entire series so far, and I look forward to seeing who I get next in my pack. As you can see, I got Busquets, a few other players this time around, and I'm really excited for next episode, which will be coming to you guys next week. I hope you've all had a cracking day, and be sure to leave a like on the video, guys. I'll see you all in a little bit. Bye-bye.